You know, it is not often that we get great news in the world of politics, but this week delivered some exceptionally refreshing stories, starting with a stunning defeat of so-called squad member and radical Jew hater Jamal Bowman. That happened, yeah. Bye-bye, Jamal. That was in a New York congressional primary. You remember Bowman, defeated by another Democrat, but at least one who used his brains for something other than mush to keep his skull from collapsing. Unlike Bowman. George Latimer's the guy who won, and he defeated Bowman overwhelmingly, almost 20-point spread. You may recall that the anti-Semite Bowman is a current member of Congress who is mostly known for his only significant achievement in Congress, which was pulling a fire alarm in the House in order to prevent a vote on the House floor. Now, he should have known that setting off a false fire alarm, of course, is a crime. Bowman initially lied and said he didn't do it. But when the surveillance video showed that he did, then he tried to explain that it was an accident, which made him look even dumber. Because every human being with an IQ above a bag of bell peppers knows what a fire alarm is, and one didn't just go up to one accidentally to the wall and pull the lever on it. But of course, five-alarm Bowman was barely reprimanded and continued to serve in Congress even after that. What he did really did impede the work of Congress and could be considered an act of insurrection. But he didn't have to rot in a jail for 3 years before he was even given a court date for his crime, like those January 6 insurrectionists. Nope. Liz Cheney didn't even demand any consequences. So finally, the voters of New York had enough of his foul-mouthed, Jew-hating tirades, and they did what the other members of Congress didn't have the guts to do. They sent him home packing. Yeah. In the words of my former pastor, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Goodbye and good riddance, Jamal. By the way, rumor has it that Jamal Bowman is hoping to get a job with the New York Fire Department inspecting fire alarms. Well, let's hope voters in some other states get fed up with people who hate Israel, hate Jews, and hate America. Because nobody, and I mean nobody, ought to serve in the Congress of a nation that they believe to be a country of racists, bigots, homophobes, transphobes, and xenophobes. I mean, it would be delightful if we could soon apply the term former congressman to Rashida Tlaib, Cori Bush, AOC, and Ilhan Omar, just to name a few. Well, some other good news. A few weeks ago, we had Andrew Bailey, the Missouri Attorney General, here on our couch. And this week, he won a huge federal court case that said, yet again, that President Biden can't just unilaterally forgive student loan debt in order to buy votes. Not only does a president not have the legal ability just to use other people's money for his own election bribes, but it's just plain wrong to tell people, you know, the ones who work as your plumber, electrician, HVAC technician, finish carpenter, or welder, that they need to take money from their paychecks and give it to a doctor, a lawyer, or a banker who went to college but never paid back the loans that they willingly took out and agreed to pay back. Just shouldn't be that way. By the way, a couple of weeks ago, we had Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry. Really proud of him. He just signed a bill that requires the posting of the 10 Commandments in every school in Louisiana. Good for him. And, of course, naturally, the America haters and the far-left lunatics went berserk, so afraid that little children might see the same words in their classroom that are on the walls of the U.S. Supreme Court. Well, there are positive signs that the American people have had enough of the insanity infecting our nation worse than COVID ever did, and now people are starting to push back against foolish claims that biological men should be able to just announce they're really women and then go and compete against biological women in sports. Folks, that's not open-mindedness. It's not tolerance. It's irrational nonsense, and it's dangerous to a sane and civilized people. Letting men pretend to be women because on their own they just aren't good enough to compete, that's not fairness. It's fantasy and foolishness, and those who do it They're cheaters and cowards. Look, I'm still concerned about our country, but there are some signs that Americans are waking up from a deep sleep and no longer are willing to be played for chumps. But it's not enough to be fed up, not enough even to speak up. We got to vote, and we got to get this country on truly the right side of history.